this last month has been pretty damn chaotic. Started off with filming about 50 hours of exercises split across 8 days. I then flew over to Colombia to visit my mate and renew my visa for the US. And then when I got back, I ended up spraining my ankle. In that time, I've only skated about twice and worked out probably about the same time as well. Usually, you know, that wouldn't be a problem. I'd just be like, all right, no worries. I'm just gonna get straight back into it, keep going as I normally would. But when I did actually get back into it all, something had changed. Something terrible had happened. So when I finally got back to working out, I felt weak. But then I was like, alright, I'm gonna go skating. Skating's always got my back, it's not gonna let me down. But then I got to the session and I'd literally lost like 50% of my tricks. All of my go-tos were gone, started bailing, literally everything. And I was like, mate, what is going on? Something's happening. And to be honest, I kind of just stopped enjoying both of these things. My mind was entering into self-destructive mode and it was basically just drilling me with negative thoughts about maybe I'm getting too old, maybe I'm never going to be able to skate how I used to skate ever again. I started to compare myself with other people at the skate park, thinking that I'm not enough, wondering if my foot placement on my front shafts was a little strange or maybe my crooked grinds weren't crooked enough. Basically, my mind was throttling me right in the grundle. So all this continued for a few days, but then I remembered. I've been in this situation multiple times before. Every single time that I'm in it, my mind is drilling me, my mind is giving me shit. But all of those situations before as well, I've made my way out with the right action and staying consistent with that action. And it hit me that I've still got the exact same power that got me out of those situations right now, and I can apply it right now to this situation. Okay, so things are starting to look better. I've decided that I'm gonna get myself out of the hole, but I'm also aware that it's not gonna happen instantly. I'm probably not gonna skate how I wanna skate for at least a few more weeks, and my strength probably isn't gonna come back for probably about the same time either. So there's still a path to be walked here. I've got the action part of the equation down. I know that I'm gonna be skating regularly, working out regularly, but now one thing that's extra important that could make or break the situation is how I go about thinking of the situation and where I direct my attention throughout this process. Alright, so what I mean by this is when we're in a situation like this that we don't want to be in, it's easy to almost separate ourselves from the journey and just kind of focus directly on that end goal of what it's going to be like to finally get to where we want to go. But there's a problem with this because what you're doing is you're basically telling your mind that you're constantly in a state of lack. Like, life isn't good enough until you reach where you want to get to, or you acquire a certain thing, or you learn a certain trick. But this isn't only going to make life less enjoyable in the actual moment, but it's also going to reduce our chances of even actually reaching the goal and the place that we want to get to. So recently I've been listening to a lot of this guy called Andrew Huberman, who's an absolute boss level neuroscientist and also a skater as well, who's featured on the 9 Club. And he talks a lot about how if we feel greater feelings of satisfaction from the reward, from that end goal, our brains then start associating those feelings, they start associating value and success from those end goals, from that reward, and it loses the association of those things with the actual path itself. And the problem with that is then it causes us to lose interest in the path. On the other hand, if you start to link greater feelings of satisfaction to the path itself, then your brain will start to associate value and success to the path, which will then increase your enjoyment of the path, but it will also motivate you to actually do what needs to be done and to enjoy that process of doing what needs to be done for you to get where you want to actually get to. Alright, so the question is, how do we actually apply this shit? Well, Andrew Huberman has by far many more answers than I do, so I'm going to be linking his podcast down in the description below. I am also just going to explain my personal experience and my process with all this though as well, just in case, you know, maybe you're interested, maybe it's going to bring some value, who knows. So when it comes down to skating, I can't say that I can generate positive feelings and gratitude around actually bailing the tricks that I could normally do, but I am trying to generate feelings of gratitude around the fact that, like, just by being out skating and spending time on my board, I'm 100% going in the direction where I want to go. I'm 100% like building back the skills, starting to feel more comfortable on the board. I also try not to like push myself and get hung up on specific tricks that I could normally do. If I go out and I'm like really struggling with a trick, I don't just keep pushing. I'm like, alright mate, the board doesn't want to do that right now. That's alright. I'm gonna kind of, you know, cruise around, go with the flow, see what it is open to on that day. And a lot of the times in those situations, you can actually unlock tricks that you might have never been able to do when you feel like 100% The other day, I was kind of figuring out back Smiths, for example, and I've never, ever, ever been able to actually log that trick in. So when it comes to working out, I focus on the fact that I'm getting stronger. I enjoy the feelings of pushing myself through different exercises because I know the effect that it's going to be having. And for both of these things, I just try and be grateful for the fact that I have the power to drive myself in the direction that I want to go and take action and be consistent with the things that I need to do to get me where I want to be. So wherever you're personally at now, if you're recovering from an injury, if you're going through a bad patch of skating, if you've got goals related to getting stronger or improving your skating, wherever you're at, just know that you have the power to basically get where you want to go. As long as you're taking action and being consistent with it, and by tricking yourself into enjoying the process and finding value in it, you'll not only enjoy the moment, enjoy the path so much more, but you'll also even increase your chances of actually getting where you want to go. So to summarize, take action, be consistent, and enjoy the growth and all of the amazing things that you will find along the path. So for everything else that's going to improve how you skate and how you feel when you skate, make sure you subscribe. And that's it for this one. I'm going to go for a little cruise now. So see you later.